Hello, everyone, to another episode of Million Dollar Media. I am your host, Max Kellerhals, and with me today we have
Nile Thompson.
And today we are going to be talking about
Creed 3.
Yeah, alright. So this movie is about Adonis Creed in his 3 years. No, wait.
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years into his retirement. He's married to Bianca. He has a kid. Life is good. Life is good. He's training people to be better boxers and get them proper matches. Then along comes
An old friend of his.
I would say even more than friend, like brother.
Yeah.
Not adopted, but boarding home brother.
Yeah.
Who's just gotten out of jail after 18 years, which is, Jesus.
A long time.
A long time.
A long time to be away.
A long time. And he wants what Creed has, pretty much. He wants that life. He wants to be the champ. He thought it was his destiny to basically have this kind of life.
Yeah, he thought he was mad that Creed was living his life.
Yeah, pretty much, because he had to take the fall for Creed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the story. I'm just gonna say I really like this movie.
Yeah.
Another really solid Creed movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I was very worried going into this movie. I was like...
I'm curious why you're worried, because I have very different reasons to be worried.
Because I was worried because Creed 2 was such a phenomenal movie.
I like Creed 2 as well.
And I was just nervous for the fact that I felt like Creed 2 ended it off on a good note to where we had somewhat of a decent ending.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that we could be satisfied with. And I was scared that Creed 3 was going to keep pushing and try to dry out the river.
Mm-hmm.
Just like many other franchises do.
Yeah.
So I was worried they were taking the same route. But no, I feel like it caught me by surprise. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy.
Yeah. I was worried because it's Michael B. Jordan's first time directing.
Yeah, that too. And
to me, that had me worried as, oh crap, they couldn't find an actual director to come in and do this, so he had to step up and do it because no one else was interested. That scared me. There's also the thing about Stallone not being in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of he's currently battling the studio for the rights over Rocky. So I totally understand why, and I hope everything works out well for him. And he also said, Stallone has said, I have nothing against Creed or what they're doing. It's Michael's movie. I wish him the best, but at the moment I cannot support said film. But with all that being said, I still thought that, hell, even Michael B. Jordan is for a first-time director. What a hell of a first impression.
What a great movie.
I know. He definitely has his own style, which I appreciate. Very influenced by anime. We'll get into that later.
Almost definitely. We'll talk about that.
But also just how he works with actors just felt like, oh no, this really feels like an actor directed this movie because he knows how to work with everybody. And I think that really goes to show with Jonathon Majors as Damien, again, after our last review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Holy fuck, is this guy just making a great impression in Hollywood.
Man is doing good. He's on a roll.
I can't even really call him the villain of the movie.
No.
Even though he does some really villainous shit.
Almost definitely.
I still get where he's coming from. In that final fight, you really do... You're really
you see it from his side.
Yeah, you get where he's coming from. And he's like, I need this. This is all I have.
Yeah.
He literally.
This is the only thing that's keeping me going.
When you find out, this kid has no family, he's been away for 18 years, doesn't know what the world is like anymore. His practically younger brother is took his life. He's got nothing. So he's just, for lack of a better word, he's just hungry. With even that first fight that he has, you're definitely he's going too far, but he needs to prove a point.
Yeah.
He will win. He's a very, what I really like about the direction of this movie, unlike every other Creed fight, and fight scene in the rest of the trilogy. I like the way they show how Adonis and Damien break down their certain matches.
Yeah.
Like, they look for weak spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're very smart about how they defeat their enemy. Or
Yeah.
their opponent, I should say. And I don't know, I just really appreciated that because unlike other Rocky films where it's just like, oh no, out of nowhere he punched him in the ribs and that broke the rib and stuff like that. Where I'm like,
exactly.
I get it. And I'm not saying anything else is bad about the fights. I'm just saying, like, I really appreciate the level of like, oh no, they're going to take time to actually go through these scenes of in the movie. And yeah, man, I'll also say this just to like talk about something that a lot of people are talking about. I really like the music in the movie.
Oh, music was phenomenal.
There's a little nice cameo by Kalani, and she has a really good song that I still listen to a lot.
Yeah.
I listen to the montage song a lot.
No, that's a good song.
It's a good song. I remember we were in the theater. By the way, I just gotta say, watching a Creed movie, or any movie that involves really good fight scenes with you is really funny because you started to punch with the characters.
Yeah, I really get into it, man. I hate to say it, but it doesn't take much to please me when it comes to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up watching fighting movies with my dad, like John Wick, Bruce Lee. So just, you give me a good fight scene and I'm the happiest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the mood, I'm with the movie. It's like I'm in there myself, playing that role.
Going back to the music thing, there was really one funny moment where it was Creed is doing his outro song.
Yeah.
I don't know who does the song. I think it's either Big Sean. It was Big Sean. Big Sean has a song on the soundtrack. And during that moment, I just noticed that I started bopping my head with the beat and like, oh, okay.
You're like, hold on,
hold on.
This hidden.
Yeah, then I like looked down the row. You're doing it, and the two other people who were with us were doing it, and then a couple people down the row were also doing it. I was like, ooh.
I was like, we're feeling this.
Oh, yeah.
We're here.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many times where throughout the movie, I've gone on my phone and pulled up Shazam to Shazam a song.
Yeah.
And then be like, all right, cool. And I pocket my phone. I'm like, okay, I'm going to remember that for later.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the music, just the way... I've always appreciated the music in all the Creed films. Like,
but
I know...
But the music in this movie felt so different. I can't explain how, but there was just...
I think there's just much more of it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you just have for Rocky and Creed. I feel like it's just the training montage music. Usually that like is like the one song where you're like, wow, that goes hard. But I feel like for this movie alone, I feel like the music just went from like an 8 to a 10 just because of how many more songs were just that good for us.
Yeah, like general. It wasn't afraid to be very like LA.
Mm-hmm.
Like like the first film felt very like the first Creed film I should say felt very like Philadelphia based.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a Philly.
Yeah, it felt more gritty.
Coming out of the slums.
Yeah, coming out of the slums. Even though he was going into the slums to come out of them. It was weird. He was trying to prove himself. That was pretty much the whole point with that music, of just trying to like prove yourself. I think Meek Mill did the song for that one.
I believe so. I don't remember.
I only remember because of this movie, I've done like a retrospective of just all the music.
No, I rewatched a couple of scenes from the other movies.
So like the one from the second movie, that might be my favorite one still.
The movie or the music from the movie? Or both?
I don't know. I feel like this one might be my new favorite because I just really like the villain.
I still think...
Creed 2 is really good. Here's the thing. All of them are really good movies. It's just all based off personal taste.
Yeah.
Like, I really like
the
journey he went through in this movie.
Yeah.
Not saying that everything else in those other movies wasn't bad.
Oh,
I just like that, like, this one, without having Rocky there, you just had a chance to, like, really get to know Adonis.
Yeah.
And it was his story, this isn't just Rocky 7 and 8. This is Creed 3.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that. Like, just...
Oh, yeah.
Not saying anything bad about the Stallone thing. It's just that when you have a character like Rocky...
By himself.
Yeah, or just on screen.
Yeah.
It holds a much different weight than in just Adonis, but just because of those films, it really made this film all the better. And like everything that he's gone through in those two movies leading up to this, and like all he's built.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I really liked. I don't know. There was just something about this movie that I really liked. Like, I loved his the family dynamic.
Yeah.
And that throughout most of the scenes that he's in.
No, it was great.
It's all ASL, which I really appreciated. Of just like, no, we're not gonna have them talk because that's not how they would communicate in their household. They would be signing.
Yeah.
And you can really tell that each actor had to learn sign language. And there was one really funny part with Jonathon Majors, where they have to teach him like some quick sign.
Yeah.
And it got a big laugh out of the theater because he was just like, "Oh, that's cool."
And he's like, "Yeah,
yeah."
No, that was great.
I think there's another part where it's like, "Oh, you got glass floors too, huh?"
No, yeah.
Like he's just like shocked by how much money his little brother has. Like,
yeah, he's like crazy to see what 18 years different.
Oh yeah.
On both ends of the spectrum, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just. I believe the little girl they got is deaf.
Really?
Like the actress is deaf.
Really?
So it was just nice to like see.
And put some effort into it and make it seem like it's for real.
Especially for a movie that's his first time directing. Like the amount of effort he put into that.
Yeah. Also, a lot of deaf.
Yeah, a lot of deaf. A lot of ASL in the movie. Yeah. Also with the one boxer. A lot of really interesting, like, I want to say Mexican or like Mexican representation, or at the very least some Hispanic representation with that one boxer.
I forgot his name.
Even though I did not like his mom, his mom got on my nerves a lot. I was
really?
like, I feel like you kind of asked for your son to have this happen to him.
I
get it, but I do get it, but I felt like she was like really annoying at some points. I don't know. I was kind of annoyed.
I definitely felt like.
I don't know. She was just like, well, why doesn't my son have this? Why doesn't my son have this?
Yeah,
why can't he have this? Like,
no, exactly.
He deserves this. I'm like, lady, like
it's the mother.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like,
it's the mother thing.
Lady, shit happened. We're trying to fix it. Okay?
No, I get it.
I mean, I didn't hate the son character, but it was really funny when his outro came on, which I thought he had the coolest outro out of anybody.
Oh, most definitely.
Like I don't know who said it, but like, I remember he comes out with like this.
It's like this Jaguar.
Yeah, Mexican Jaguar helmet, has like skeleton masks on and Day of the Dead feel. And like, I don't know who said it first, but I remember thinking in the theater like, oh, it's Namor.
Yeah, I remember
it's Namor.
Leaning to your side. I was like, is it just me or do I get Namor vibes looking at this guy?
Yeah, I was just like, huh, okay.
No, I thought it was great. I caught it too, and I was like, wait a minute, that looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be.
I guess one other thing we could talk about, we mentioned it earlier, the anime influences we saw.
Yeah.
Definitely noticed
a lot of Dragon Ball.
There was a lot. There was also a Naruto poster in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that.
I know you did.
Gotta represent.
Yeah, I just thought that was cool. Just like, I love that we're to the point in like movies where like directors can come in and be like, oh no, I grew up on anime, so I'm going to try to put some influences in. This and maybe Alita, where I was like, wow, the anime influences here work.
Yeah.
And like he found a way to actually make it work in the film. Like,
yeah.
The one thing that I thought would be a little bit goofy when I saw it in like one of the TV spots, when there's a moment in the movie where Adonis and Damien trade blows at the same time and punch each other in the head at the same time.
Yeah, I was like, if that's not Dragon Ball, I don't know what it is. It looked
just like a Dragon Ball fight.
Yeah.
But when I saw that in
the theaters.
No, when I saw it on the TV spot, I was like, that looks a bit silly. But when I saw it in the movie, I was just like, oh, that works.
I was like, that's so cool.
That is just that works so well for this moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just the whole final fight was just very anime inspired.
Almost definitely.
Like the moment where they're both visualizing, like
each other,
like as their younger selves, and then the whole theater, like or stadium goes
blank, and it's just them,
just
in the
black and smoke, and it's just all of them. What they do is like you hear muffled, like cheers, but it's all just
kind of a blur compared to like what.
It's only the sound of them hitting each other and the that just. Yeah. I don't know. I just loved it. Like this is the first time I think in like most Rocky films, or and even Creed films, where they're allowed to just get really artsy.
Yeah.
With it because like
it felt very artsy.
Yeah, like each time they got hit up against something, it would represent something horrible from their past. So like Damien would get hit up against the ropes, and it would show jail bars.
Yeah, exactly.
He would get shoved up against the rope, and it would show him back at the boarding house.
Yeah.
And like just to show like everything that they're fighting not to go back to. And I was just like, damn, this is like really cool. And then it ends with them doing the trading blows thing. There was another anime moment that was like straight out of Dragon Ball with the gut punch.
Yeah.
And then the cut to the back where you just see all the sweat just like bounce off of him just to show the.
And then it seems like it cuts back to
his face,
Creed's face, where it looks like his eyes are gonna literally pop out of the
sockets. He almost did like the Frieza, just like.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that point. I remember people were laughing, but I was just like, damn.
I was like, that's anime as shit.
There's another moment where I thought it was really anime, and it's the final blow.
Yeah.
Where have you ever seen anybody block the way Damien blocked? Is that just like a very niche thing that some boxers have just discovered that they just implemented here?
Yeah, I would.
Or is that like I don't know, or is that just something that came up for the movie to make that character different? But either way, Creed breaks through that weird defense, gets one shot at him right in the nose, and then what I love is that they show like with that arm framed up like that.
Yeah.
They show Creed's eyes just like do like the down, and then BAM!
Yeah.
It's like whenever you see anime do slow motion, where it's just like they finally broke through the guard and like the speed lines are going through.
It's like, now's my chance.
Yeah. I was just like,
yeah.
Damn. I don't know. I just love this film.
Yeah. One other anime aspect that I found in this movie was just the amount of times where like they slowed down something, but I don't know how to describe it, but like there was one certain scene in the training montage specifically where Creed was training, and I guess it was about control, but he was about to punch someone square in the face.
Oh yeah.
And then it slowed down, and he stopped his punch and drawed his arm back. I was like, that's so anime.
He got the punch like an inch away from his sparring partner's face.
Yeah.
And then had the control to stop and then go back.
Yeah,
and get right back. Oh, that was so cool.
And then
that was clean.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. I was so hyped watching that scene specifically
because it goes like they're trying to show him like getting his speed back.
Yeah.
Because this training montage was meant to show like he's been out of commission. He's older now. He's not a young man like he was in the first two movies. He's probably mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
So he's trying to like figure out how he can box now. Like they show, what I love is that with sequels like this, they're not afraid to actually talk about the first movie in like a realistic way.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, look, you got your wrist broken, your eye, you could barely see out of this one eye.
It's like you messed up this one eye once.
Your hands are fucked up.
He's like, how many concussions have you had?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. It's like, throughout the whole movie itself, it's just like, even though it's been 3 years, he's older now. He's not, it's been a while since he's been in the ring.
Yeah.
So.
I know they keep saying that too, and I just said it as well, but I'm like, damn. They're saying that's old.
Yeah, right.
Like, God.
Like, that's crazy. Like, he adopted this dad lifestyle now, and now it's just like...
He has to get back into that.
Yeah, he's got to get back into the groove of things.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then one more anime aspect scene, and then I'm going to pay homage to something else.
Okay.
And then is in the first fight with how many times he would dodge a punch, and it would be like in slow-mo. And
yes!
It seemed like he saw it coming, and then he like thought it... You couldn't see what... You obviously couldn't hear what he was thinking, but like... You could kind of imagine what he was thinking before he took a punch, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. That was just very, like, Dragon Ball aspect.
It felt
for me.
very Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, felt very Ultra Instinct Goku, for those who know.
Like, the way that camera did it.
He just made it seem like so slow-mo, and as if he was moving at light speed or something. Not light speed, but...
Like, the camera is following with his shoulders as he's going from left to right to down to up and then punch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, that was really cool. I think that's what also made it feel Ultra Instinct, because the camera was also moving with him.
Yeah.
Again, just really good direction overall. Especially when you as the director have to do the fighting as well.
Exactly. I feel like that was the perk for directing his own movie. He knew what looked good. He knew what he wanted. So I feel like that's one of the pros for him making his own movie. He didn't have to fight himself.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
No, I get you.
I
also say, like, during that training montage, I thought another really cool, like, anime-ish inspired moment was when he's training with Drago, which we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
And he's getting pummeled by Drago, and he gets knocked down, and then it cuts back to all the other times where
he's like gotten knocked down.
Like all the big knockout moments from the Creed movies.
Yeah,
the one
where he's been knocked down and he's gotten back up. He's like, I gotta get back up.
They showed my favorite part of the Creed 2 fight where he's like slamming
punching the ground,
trying to get up. I love that moment.
No, I thought that was really cool.
And then just all to basically have him take off the headgear, just say, all right, let's go.
He's like, I'm back.
And then Drago's just like, all right.
He's like, let's do this. I had to pay homage to a very specific scene in the flashback when it was Damien and Adonis going to one of Damien's fights. Mm-hmm. And we noticed that Damien was wearing a Dodgers shirt, a Dodgers jersey with 42 on it.
Yeah, and Robinson.
Yep, and it had Robinson's name on it.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see. And you caught it before I could.
I caught it because I was like, first I saw the 42. Then I looked up and I saw Robinson written on the back, and I was like, okay, makes sense. The character's black. He respects like black athletes of old. And then I thought, oh fuck.
I was like, yeah,
Chadwick played
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, and I was about to say, like, that...
I was like, now that's deep.
There's a really, like, clever way to, like...
That was a very nice and clever homage.
Yeah, I like that. I was definitely...
That was a very heartwarming moment for me.
It wasn't, like, taking you out of the film or anything. If you know, you know. And
exactly.
If you know, it hurts.
Yeah, exactly.
But it really felt like it was him... tipping, like, just acknowledging
tipping his hat to
Chadwick
because and everything he's done.
It was just, that was really...
No, I thought that was great.
Yeah, that was rough to...
That was a rough couple seconds.
Well, it wasn't rough, I shouldn't say. It was just really nice to know.
It was cool to see.
And, like, there's also, like, film nerds like me are just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, it was like, wow.
But, yeah.
It's like, that's cool.
Yeah, I really like that part.
Yeah. But we can talk about Drago now.
Yes.
Well, we didn't expect to see in the movie.
I didn't like at all, because usually at least with the last couple...
with villains, you never see.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about it. And it also, that feels very anime.
Yeah, like the villains
becoming back and becoming good guys.
That's Dragon Ball-esque.
Yeah, I just really like that. No, for this movie... They had their fight, Creed won, and Creed is now trying to work out a deal to have this guy, his new fighter, fight Drago, so that both of them could get money.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's awesome.
That makes a lot of sense. Like,
I was like, this is awesome. Like
yeah,
he won. Like, it was great to see where Michael B. Jordan came to.
Yeah.
Even though, like, he was out of the fight, he wasn't
giving up.
He wasn't done yet, though.
No, like, he
still had more to give, and I thought that was great.
Uh-huh. Like,
seeing him, like, make venues for fighters.
I love that. I thought that was so cool.
I thought that was so great. He was
because Rocky,
able to stay in the business.
He just had his own little.
Once he was done, he was done.
He was done. He didn't want any of it. Like I think in Rocky 5, he had like a little. He was trying to train someone named Tommy Gunn or something like that.
I forgot.
Well, something happened there, and but after that, he was just like, I'm just gonna run my own little restaurant. Just gonna live out my days.
Exactly.
Not really care about this stuff. He only really came back because of Creed.
Yeah.
But
to see Creed staying there,
Creed was like, I'm staying.
I thought that was great.
I'm gonna help out other people. I was like, that's really cool. I like that.
He was like, I want other people to be able to get to where I got to, and I was like, that's awesome.
And then ultimately into this movie where Drago's like, no, I'll help you beat this other guy.
He's like, you saved me.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I'm returning the favor.
Exactly.
I remember when in that training montage when you see him come back, you're like oh fuck.
You're like, oh shit.
That's your sparring partner?
It's like this. He's gonna get you back on the map.
It felt very like Goku Vegeta.
Yeah.
Like just
it definitely felt like a Goku and Vegeta rematch.
Yeah, I loved it. I also appreciated how in the first fight we see in this movie is basically a rematch of the first fight from the Creed movie. First Creed?
Yeah.
With I forgot the name of the guy, but he's the British boxer.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking
who
about.
Needed a fight because of some weird legal reason. So, yeah, I just really like that they brought him back as well. Like, this movie really felt like we are ending off the Creed movies.
Yeah.
Or, like, this is it for Creed. We don't... If we do another one, maybe... But for right now, we're ending it off here.
This is it.
I just like that they made this a movie that they really didn't plan to make, but found a really cool way to tie it into everything else.
Exactly.
I don't know. I just really like the writing. I love the directing. I love the acting. Again, just a quick mention, Tessa Thompson is awesome as always.
Phenomenal.
I just love the family dynamic in here because there's no real fight. Like, they all really love each other. It's just that one is just going through a really emotional moment.
Yeah, and doesn't know how to...
it doesn't know how to handle it. Which,
exactly.
I mean, I'm not the one to say this, but I have seen a lot of people appreciate how it's a movie that shows black men being emotional.
Exactly.
And not afraid... Well, they're afraid to be because they don't know, like...
what the consequences could be.
The consequences, or, like, how to handle it, because Creed has always been like, I just fight.
He's like, I just... duke it out. That's how I handle my problems. So, it's like he can't, but now he's come to terms to where
he's got
not everything is a punch away.
Yeah, he's got to fight, but fight for different reasons. Like he's got to stand his ground.
Exactly.
He can't run like he did as a little kid. Exactly. No, I thought that was something I noticed too that I thought was really cool. Like because with the first two movies, it's for reasons that are like holier than thou, like my family name. This is my family name and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But for this movie, it was like, no, this is something that I've done, that I've experienced. This has to deal with
something I have to do myself.
A painful past of my own that I have to figure out. And like, even though I've come this far, that still hurts.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, that was cool to see.
I'm still, if there was any like little nitpicks or criticisms, I thought the scene where his daughter punches that other girl.
Yeah.
Was a bit silly.
I thought it was a little excessive.
It was silly.
I thought it was excessive, but it was definitely needed.
It was needed. I just didn't like the way it was done because just to see this little girl square up and then punch directly into the camera, more people in the theater laughed
than they should have.
But
I don't think that's what the reaction was supposed to be.
I don't either.
Or at least that's not what Michael B. Jordan wanted.
Yeah, I was just like, that is just a real, like, especially what that other girl did. Where I was like, one, why? Like, it really just came out of nowhere. That little girl's just like, I'm going to rip your drawing up. For no reason.
Yeah. I
mean, kids are assholes, but still, there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
And then just to see the two, just the way, straight down the barrel of the camera, like, square up, bam!
Just hits her.
And then just cut, and then shows the 2, 3. The scene is so quick that it just goes 1, 2, 3, bam,
and we're out.
And then we're done with that scene, and then it sets up this entirely different subplot.
Yeah, I thought this movie,
which I was like, I get why the subplot is there of him trying to like
help his daughter control her emotions,
like he's trying to control his. I totally get it.
I thought that was great.
I just didn't like the inciting incident for what that was.
Yeah, I didn't like the. I definitely thought that there was definitely another way to take that first step into that type of side plot.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would have been, but I feel like there could have been an alternative somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And my other nitpick, because it's not really a criticism, I just wish I had more of it.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff with the mom.
Yeah.
Adonis's mom passes away, and you see, and I really appreciated how that the scene that they had together at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the way it was done.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when it comes to like scenes like that, they never show like the reality of like someone losing
their family member.
Their family member in a mental way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really appreciated that they did that.
No, it was a very deep scene because it felt like the mother, as she was passing away, she at a certain point she started to think that Adonis was Apollo.
Yeah, I really like that.
I thought that was a great add-in, and then
that she's still saying like, even though they had that fight the night before, like. She's still saying, like, oh, he was such a great kid. You'd be so proud and stuff like that. Like, he's such an amazing kid. And I was just like, oh.
I was like, that's just sweet.
That's heartbreaking. I just wish there was more scenes in the movie with the two. That way...
Not just them kind of...
That way we don't just get the one scene with them as a family and we get the mention of the stroke, showing them in happier times. Mm-hmm. And then one scene...
With them fighting.
And then ultimately she dies. It just felt very rushed. Where it was just like, I wish we had a little bit more time to really understand the mother character. I mean, not like just
not understand her, but see her end of the story.
Yeah, because throughout the entire Creed movies, you don't get a lot of the mom.
No, you don't.
Yeah. So I was
like, I feel like we could have seen more of her.
Yeah.
And more of her.
I get. Yeah, I was just
support inside of the story.
I just think that should have been the case.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, those are only, like, nitpicks in the movie. It's just, like, one stylistic thing that I didn't think worked. And what I'm ultimately asking is more of the movie.
Exactly. I felt like this was a great movie that Creed made, but I felt like it was rushed. Like, I came out the movie, and I was like, wow, that was literally 2 hours.
So are you saying, like, the pace of the movie was really good?
I felt like the pace was...
Or like
I felt like it was good. I was like, wow, that was fast.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, it was just a good movie. It was paced well. I definitely agree there could have been like some more scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like some more scenes with the mom
it
was missing.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I completely think it was like a well-paced movie.
Yeah.
Just a few things missing, but like, I don't know, it's his first movie he directed.
Yeah, but like, I also feel like for his first movie, just to have like, as I say, I want more, but what we did have worked.
Oh, no, I'm not saying what they had was bad.
I just was thinking, like, again, it's just like a personal thing where I'm just like...
Exactly.
Yeah, I want more of the movie because I like being with these characters. They feel real. I like the family. I like the friendship rivalry between the two main characters. Just everything just felt... Natural. I have a question, though, because I mentioned this about, like, if this being, like, a really good cap to this trilogy of Creed.
All right, hit me.
Because there are 6 Rocky films.
6.
Do you think they could continue Creed?
Could they continue Creed? Yes.
Do you want them to?
Honestly, I'm in crossroads because at the first part of the movie, I was like, we don't need this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it here? I'm still going to go see the movie, even though...
When was the moment where you were like, oh no, we needed this? For me, it was after... It was the first time we meet modern-day Damien. I was like, oh, I get it.
For me, it was when Amara got into her fight at school.
Okay.
Because that was when we found out more about Adonis personally.
All right.
And just how he handles problems. And I was like, okay, so it's like he doesn't really like to think things through.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of just likes to do what feels natural. What natural is to him, he just fights it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, as a black man, I completely loved the fact that we got to see his emotional side more in this movie, and just being able to know that, or for him to see that it's okay to talk things through and not bottle things up and keep things in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay to bring stuff back, but I just thought that was a great aspect. I feel like that's where I was like, okay, we didn't need, I was like, that was a point in time where I was like, this movie was definitely needed for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody needed this movie.
No.
But for people of color, I felt like men of color, I felt like this movie was needed.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was needed.
Okay.
I'm satisfied with leaving it off here.
Yeah.
But I think Creed 4 would be cool.
I think if they wanted to do a Creed 4, you just wait like another long period of time and have him coach his daughter.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like, have his daughter be the one.
Yeah, I feel like I saw that as an option.
Because, like, it would also...
literally, at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
After Creed won the fight against Damien.
Mm-hmm. Spoiler.
Spoiler. He came back out after talking with Damien to the ring, and his daughter, Amara, was practicing punches in the ring. Mm-hmm. So I felt like that was a good way to end it, to where, like okay, I could see this happening. Mm-hmm. I could see a Creed 4 in this aspect. I could see this happening.
I think it'd be really cool, one, to introduce, like a, not like Special Olympics, but like a...
The women's side of boxing.
Oh, not only women's, but the fact that she's deaf.
Yeah.
Definitely a new set of rules that you have to, like, abide by. So I'm just really curious to see, like, I do not know much about, like, Paralympic boxing.
I wouldn't know either. Especially
when it comes to, like, deaf people.
Yeah.
So to see a movie, like, tackle that would be really cool.
I feel like that'd be a cool take.
First of all, a woman boxer would be cool for a Rocky film, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say for a Rocky film, but for, like, a Creed movie, because the Creed movie is about the Creed family.
Yeah.
It's always been. So seeing that would be really cool. I don't know. I can't wait to see whatever they come up with. I'm still gonna go see. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I've got to say. Just, again, really good film. Do you want to say anything before we turn this off?
Nothing that you've already marked off. Creed's a great movie. I would recommend. I say it's needed for people, men of color, but that doesn't mean that you only have to be a man of color to see this. I feel like everybody or anybody could enjoy this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And get that feeling of just like, it's okay.
I actually got into Rocky because of Creed.
Same here.
So, like...
I saw Creed
it's
1.
never been about, like, this is only for this. These Rocky's for white people, Creed is for black. No.
Yeah.
They're for everybody.
Like,
everybody can get something out of it.
Exactly.
Like, I always really like the Creed films for just the feeling of just, like, earning your name, making yourself your own man and stuff like that. Like, the second one, like, correcting a family wrong. And then with this one, working yourself as a character, as a person. Just, like, there's always something you can get out of these films. And I think with every film you could get something out of, depending on what race, creed, gender, creed as in religion, whatever you are. But yeah, just there's always something you can get out of most films.
Yeah, everybody can get something out of it.
Yeah, but all right, yeah. So that it?
That's it for me.
All right. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to us on Spotify, please subscribe and share. That's all. I bid you a farewell.
Goodbye, everybody.